I'm just making sure I'm still standing behind because I was in his back. Make sure. Make sure.
All right, let me say good afternoon to everyone, and let me introduce everyone that's here standing with me. To my right, this is Don Smith, the area Vice President for Texas and Oklahoma.
That's correct.
Okay, and then of course we have Council Members Dave Martin, Councilmember Cisneros, Councilmember Borkin, Vice Mayor Pro Tem Davis, Councilmember Green, and Councilmember Robert Gallegos. I'm pleased to announce an agreement with Waste Management on a proposed new contract that would allow the city to continue offering recycling services without any disruptions. The proposal, expected to be presented to City Council for approval in 2 weeks, is a 2-year contract with a $90 per ton processing fee and a guarantee to Waste Management of at least 75% of the city's recycling stream. And let me just say this, I'm presenting this proposed agreement at this time. City Council does not meet next week on the 16th, and the current contract is scheduled to expire on the 16th, and wanted to take this opportunity today to announce that recycling will continue without disruption. And that's why I'm making this announcement today. So let me also say to all of the City Council members, that's why I'm getting it to you at the last minute, and in no way intended to be disrespectful to any council member. But because of the contract expiring on the 16th and people wanting to know where we're going, what's going to happen on the 17th, I wanted to make this announcement. So this is all pending approval by City Council. The only change in service that Houstonians will notice is the elimination of glass from the list of items that are acceptable for placement in the green curbside recycling bins. Glass is unduly destructive to the processing equipment and breaks during collection and transportation. By excluding it from the recycling stream, we are able to lower processing costs for Waste Management, and this could conceivably even lower the 2-year contract price as well. Residents may continue to drop off glass for recycling at the city's neighborhood depositories. And I want to repeat that. Residents may continue to drop off glass for recycling at the city's neighborhood depositories. I want to thank Waste Management for being willing to reconsider our arrangement and engage in shared sacrifice. This agreement makes good economic sense for the city and for Waste Management. It reaffirms our commitment to recycling. It doesn't tie the city to a long-term contract. It allows Waste Management to avoid the employee layoffs that would have likely resulted from cancellation of service in Houston, and provides an opportunity for potential competitors to enter the market. The original negotiating agreement would have locked the city into a 6-year contract with a cost of $95 per ton. I wanted a shorter term contract so the city would be in a better position in case the market improves. Waste Management declined my counter offer and submitted a 3-year deal with costs of $7.6 million over 2 years and $11.5 million over 3 years. The new agreement saves the city more than $900,000 per year and $2 million over the 2-year period. The city's current contract with Waste Management is set to expire on March 16, 2016. But Waste Management has agreed to an extension until the new proposal is considered by City Council on March 23rd. And Don, I want to thank you and Waste Management for that consideration. City Council does not meet next week due to spring break. And certainly I want to thank Waste Management for joining with the city in coming up with something that meets the needs and the interests of the Houstonians, and it required cooperation on both ends. I appreciate the members of City Council for the position and their support in this, and I appreciate Waste Management for willing to work with us and for all Houstonians in making sure recycling continues in the city without any disruption. Don.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor Turner. On behalf of all the employees who live and work in Houston, but particularly those who work at the 2 sites, the material recovery facilities that process the city's residents' recyclables, we want to say thank you. Okay? And I would like to applaud the mayor, council, and staff for employing creativity as we worked towards a mutually acceptable agreement. Removing glass from the recyclable stream was not an easy decision. It's, and some would call it a painful decision, but it was a necessary decision as we worked to keep residents' interests front and center to effect a solution and meet the city's recyclables needs. It's no secret, Waste Management's headquarters are here in Houston. We're very proud of being here in Houston. We're proud of the city of Houston. And we are committed to ensuring that recycling is a long-term viable option for the city of Houston, both now and in the future. Thank you.
Having said that, we'll take any questions that any of you may have.
Mayor, what would the cost be per year for each of these 2 years, and is there an option for renewal at the end?
I think the cost per year is about $2.7 million per year for these 2 years, which is considerably lower than the initial offer. This deal saves the city from the original offer about $900,000 a year.
And would there be an option to extend the contract?
This is a flat 2-year deal, and hopefully by then the market conditions will change favorably for Waste Management and change favorably for the city of Houston. But this does provide certainty for people within the city of Houston, and it gives us an opportunity to even work to continue recycling. And it only costs for 75% of our load going to Waste Management, which still gives us some flexibility with respect to the other 25%. So I think I would tell you, I think it's a darn good deal for the Houstonian, for Houston, for those who are keenly interested in recycling. And again, I certainly want to thank Waste Management for working with us to make this happen.
How do you plan to communicate with residents that they're no longer going, or may no longer be able to recycle glass if this contract is approved? And how, let's say glass is recycled, what will Waste Management do in the case that glass is put in with other items?
I think both parties anticipate that glass may still be placed in the bins for a few months, and we're prepared to deal with that. We'll work with that as people segue out. So I think we're anticipating that practice will continue for a while. But I also want to emphasize that people can still drop off their glass at the neighborhood depositories, so they can still do that. In terms of getting the word out, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think there are about 10 cameras that are here, and then of course we have the Houston Chronicle. I mean, come on now, who doesn't read? So just pick you up a Houston Chronicle on tomorrow, and this is about a win-win for everybody.
Front page.
Well, I think you can see on yesterday we were talking about $104 at the gate. This is $90 per ton. I know people were keenly interested in making sure that there were no disruption in recycling. Waste Management heard their pleas. The city of Houston, all of us heard their plea, and I think it's a lesson that I think we can all work through difficult, challenging situations to come up with a solution. And so I'm proud that we were able to do that. Okay. Thank you.
One more question. My understanding is that glass weighs a lot compared to other recyclable materials. How do you expect that to affect the city's tonnage in recycling, and will that increase landfilling costs if that glass is then sent to the landfill?
Certainly glass weighs a significant amount in the recycling stream. But the one thing that the city can avail itself of, and we've talked a lot about this, there certainly really can help with the mix of contamination that's in there currently. So you can really offset the loss of that. Now understand, glass is a negative value commodity at this point. And glass, I think a lot of people are not familiar with glass. When it breaks, impregnates your fiber-based materials as well as your plastics and creates a lot of downstream implications. And so that's why the city, I think wisely, saw that it's a problem.
Is it the most expensive of the recyclable materials, and how much resale value do you get from it?
It's a negative value at this point.
And I would tell you, by taking it out, even the cost of that I cited, the 2.7, could conceivably be even lower. So, and when you factor in our fiscal budgetary constraints, it could be a plus for us on the fiscal side.
How many employees did y'all say were at the two centers?
Roughly 150.
Okay. So that just conclude. I think it's a win. It's a win-win for everyone. And again, let me again say to the city council members, let me number one extend my apology for kind of laying this on them overnight, literally, or this morning. But with the time conditions as they are, and with spring break being next week and not having a city council next week, and with a lot of people wondering, okay, what's going to happen on March 16th, I just thought it was imperative to get the announcement out today rather than waiting until Monday when I indicated I would come forth with a plan. So I apologize to them and look forward to this, to moving forward and keeping recycling moving, going ahead. Thank all of you for being present. Thank you.